pupils change lives. So I want to say one thing. Can I come stage because in the future I want to be partner. I won't feel it now. Can I?
Now, what I wanted to bring out, was that if you take a look at the questions that everybody has put together, there's one common trait, one common factor. Everybody that spoke was either talking of what has happened because they believed, or what they want to happen because they believe. And the most important thing here, and this is why I think it is very important that we spend this few days extremely productively, extremely profitably. These next few days are very important to you. Because I was in an exactly same situation. I say this, every week on, and let me repeat it to you again, to all of us, because we are all beginners. I needed to believe. And I only realized that when I believed, that things began to happen. It begins with believe in yourself. You need to believe. And that's what people identify. The big difference between the person sitting across from you, who you want to make understand. And sometimes, we have this major challenge getting our concept across to people. Because language is not a perfect tool. In fact, it is a very weak one. In order to convey what we truly feel and what we truly believe, language is very limited. And to convey that, there has to be something more than language. So when you're sitting across to the people and you wonder why, that they're not seeing or believing, then you have to understand that you need to believe first. And it's not enough just to believe, but you need to reinstate that belief. You need to go back, recreate that belief. You have to light that fire every day. You have to go back and ask yourself every day. It is that belief that they see. When people sit across from you, and you wonder why there are some people who just basically are able to convey this so convincingly, and others basically fall back and they say, I got rejected one more time. What happened? Because ultimately people do not buy what you sell. It is not about the company or the plan or the product, because all of these are important, but they are the vehicles, the machinery. It is belief that drives it. Most people sit across from you and they wonder, they say, how is this person so powerful, so passionate, so interested? Whatever he or she is doing, I want to do. Whatever he or she is high on, I want to feel. Because this person who's right across from me is actually living life. That energy they feel. And even though you may not be perfect in presenting the plan, because the plan comes from here, the facts come from here. So you may not be perfect in presenting the facts. That's not what counts. People see your belief. People see into your eyes. They say your eyes are the windows to your soul. People see that. They see that fire. They see that belief. And then the facts actually just become window dressing. The facts only come into play after. So the first and most important thing is to believe. Now take a look around you. This is the single most powerful thing that we do. VCon makes us unique. To bring together such a vast number of people, to fill 10,000 people from all over the world, from every continent, they are here. And it happens every year. The numbers keep growing. What is it that makes us unique? It's very simply that we talk about building who you are. It's only when you build who you are that you can go out there and build anything. Ultimately, this is the only tool that you have. This and here is your greatest tools. And when you build this, then you can go out and build anything. And belief is that single most powerful thing. That milkmaid believed. That milkmaid listened and she believed totally. And when she believed, she went out there and did something incredible. People do something incredible all the time. People do it every single time. They do it every day. Are you with me? They do things just because it can be done. They climb mountains. They go to the deepest dive that they can do. Free diving, it's called. They jump out of aeroplanes. They basically do things simply because it can be done. Are you with me? Now here you are doing something that can change lives. If they can just go out and apply their belief in themselves to the point that they can go out and conquer the depths of the ocean, the heights of the greatest, most challenging mountains, outer space even. Why can't you believe? When you climb a mountain, you think it is a mountain that is being climbed? The mountain is just incidental. It is there so that you are climbing yourself. The height of the mountain is here within you. As you climb up and you face every challenge, you slip and you fall. You pick up and go again. You get hit in the wind. You challenge every crag, every peak, every corner. You use your fingers and you risk your life to climb that mountain. And ultimately, when you climb that mountain, you step up to that peak, you look out there and look at that entire vista. You think you have conquered a mountain? That mountain is just rock. What you have conquered is you. What you have conquered is your fears. What you have conquered is your own weaknesses. What you have conquered is whatever has held you back. What you have conquered is everyone who told you that you cannot do it. What you have conquered is your ultimate obstacle, yourself. There is no greater obstacle to the things that you need to achieve than yourself. The day that you decide and you conquer yourself, then the world becomes easy. But you have to climb that mountain which is within you every day. You have to change and challenge your fears every day. There is no shortcut. If someone told you that this is some shortcut to success, that this is some miracle cure to financial freedom, that this is easy, then let me tell you that they are wrong. Let me tell you that to be truly successful in what we do, we have to work hard. We have to work very hard. We have to work until you feel you are breaking. And then you pick yourself up and do it again, and again, and again. But you know why you do this? Because the only thing that you gain out of this is you. When you prove to yourself that it can be done, it is the single most powerful feeling on the planet. But till you get it done, you have to keep on going on belief. You begin, all of us begin, by wanting the fast road. We all begin by saying we want financial freedom, but we want the money to fall on our heads. We want it to be like, plucking it from a tree. It doesn't work that way. There is no easy way. But why do you want an easy way? Anything in life that is worthwhile, anything that you have achieved in life that is worthwhile, you earned by working incredibly hard. Let me assure you, you have a medal somewhere for having won a race. You have a medal or a certificate for having got a degree in university. You have something that you are proud of that you put on your mantelpiece. You paid a price for that. In one form or the other, you inevitably paid. So you don't want anything that is easy, because whatever you get that is easy, you lose just as easily. But what you struggle to get, what you work hard to get, what you give up, you sacrifice to get, you fight to keep. That's why, ask any mother, 9 months of labor, and then to go through that incredible experience. Not that I can do this from my own experience, but I can assure you, talk to any mother and she will tell you that she would be willing to do it again, anytime. Was it hard? Yes. But usually, almost everything that is difficult, everything that we are willing to sacrifice for, everything that we are willing to struggle for is hard, but it's always worthwhile. I always go back to the incredible example of a mother, because it is truly belief beyond rationale. A mother's belief in her children, a mother's ability to sacrifice and raise a child, and whatever she's willing to go through that in that process is incredible. And with due respect to the men in the audience, women have a distinct advantage in becoming great networkers. They actually bear the sacrifices and the pain a lot better than we do. They don't give up as easily. And it is something that we could actually learn. We need to pick up a leaf or two. But the question is, again, if you're here to gain financial freedom, then fantastic. But if you think it's going to fall on your head, then you need to go back to sleep because you're dreaming. It's going to be hard work. But then we worked hard many times before. Nobody works hard like a laborer. Go down and see when they build roads in the sun, or a plantation worker. Hard labor is hard. But it doesn't take them beyond that single day. Are you with me? So don't expect to get showers of fortune just like that. But expect, however, to improve who you are to the level that you deserve that reward. When you work hard and you do it every day, you become better at it. Whatever you do. There are people who can do incredible things. Go to a circus. You've been to a circus, yes? Or you've seen it on TV. You see the people who walk across a tightrope. The people who swing from a trapeze, who swing at incredible heights. We have brought a gentleman here from France who climbs freestyle some of the tallest buildings in the world. And he's had bones broken in almost every corner of the body. We have brought a gentleman here who climbed Mount Everest. We have brought people who have basically done incredible things for what might be a very basic need to prove themselves to be the best. But what they have done is they have done it every day. Whatever they're doing, they do it every day. And when you keep doing anything every day, you become good at it. The first time you start this, it becomes a bit challenging. You take a look around and say, how do I do this? It seems so hard to do. Anything that you start is hard. The more the reward is at the end of the day, the more difficult the path. It's just like driving. The first time you sat before the wheel and you had to start driving, it was how many things to remember? The gear, the clutch, the brakes, right? The signal. You have to look at the rear view mirror, the side view mirror, etc., so on and so forth. And still you have to remember all the traffic rules, right? It was quite a task. But today, you drive a car with one hand, listening to the music on the other hand, and talking on the phone at the same time. Are you with me? You don't even notice it. You don't even realize that you have driven from A to B because you have become so good at it. So whatever you do, first thing is when you do it every day, you become better at it. And the better you become at it, the easier it becomes. So the path will get easier when you do it every day. There's no question about that. But it stops being work altogether when you learn to love it. When you love what you do, it's not work anymore. When you ask a mother, I mean, it's incredible the work that she has to do. I'm telling you, I mean, changing the baby, cleaning the baby, following behind, all the havoc that's caused in the house, she still does it day in, day out. And she does it because of love. And that is a very powerful emotion. So when you learn to love what you do, when you learn to build others around you, make them into the best that they can be, and you watch that, and you take pride in that, you yourself grow. You become different. You change. And that is the true power of belief. Are you with me? I need you to commit over the next few days. I need you to commit that you're going to change, that this is not just some convention you have come to, some, walk in the park. This has to be life-changing. There are people who have come to VCon and totally changed their lives, have never looked back since. Is the path going to be long? Possibly. Is the challenges going to be great? Absolutely. But is it worth it? Without any doubt. I say to you, financial freedom first begins with freedom. The financial part happens. First, you have to free your mind from the shackles, from the habits that have chained you down over the years. You have to basically break free of that. And that's why you need to believe. It's only through belief can you break free. It's only through belief that you start moving forward. Believe closes the path. Because you can travel so far, but to reach the end, you need to believe. It is the single most powerful force in the universe. And from it starts everything else. You want to learn the technique, you want to learn, how to talk better, deal better with people, to be able to, manage your accounts, your finances, to manage people, people management. All of these skills follow the basic principle of belief. Because if you lack belief, none of these things matter. If you have belief, then all of these things put together will make your path possible. But with belief, these things become incredibly powerful weapons. They become your armory. And that's what you need. Are you with me? See, belief changes what you do. It can take the same tools that you have and take it from what you have, which is currently moving along very well. You think I have enough belief, I am doing well, I am in a car right now, and we are moving along very well. Anyway, right? This week on is for my downlines. That's why I'm here. Those guys need to hear all this, and that's why you are here. And let me tell you, you may think you are going along very well in your car because it's moving very well. But if you go back and re-examine your belief, if you actually learn to believe all over again, know this, your car can become a jet plane. You need to empty your cup, number one. You have come here with too many beliefs that you have already built into your brain, and you think you know. The more that you know in here, the less you can take back. If your pail is already full, it doesn't matter how big the waterfall is. You can only take back what your pail allows. Over the next few days, go back to that innocence. Go back to that beginning. I was hearing today about the fact that children are so receptive to learning. They remember things and they grow so fast. But whatever you learn in childhood, you carry for the rest of your life. Are you with me? It's because the cup is empty. Your cup is filled with all your experiences in life. And everything negative is also in there. And that is the thing that's holding you back right now. You already have certain beliefs. Whether you realize it or not, actually, you have certain beliefs. You believe in certain things before you came in here. And some of those things need to be thrown out. Are you with me? You have to sit down here and re-examine who you are and make your life back your own. Take control of your life. This is your life. Ultimately, no one can live it for you except you. If you wish to stand up here one day, you have to make that decision today. And that decision must come from your heart. And that decision must drive you every single day. And when you believe in that, then everything becomes possible. Are you with me? So the next few days can change your lives, can take you further and higher than everything that you have ever done. But you need to start the process today. You have to empty the cup. You have to give trespass to the people who are here. You need to basically say unto them, I am empty, teach me. If they are repeating something that you already know, listen again. Listen again. Because you think you know it. In every lesson, there's at least 7 levels of understanding. Because you understand one doesn't mean you have understood the lesson well. If you understand one, it simply means you have 6 more to learn. If you tell a child, try to explain the power of electricity, it's quite difficult. How do you explain to a child how the bulbs work, how the fan is turning, how the air conditioner is working? How does electricity work? You can sit down and try to give a scientific explanation. It won't last 5 minutes. You just say the simplest way that you can. you show this child the switch. You put this on and the fan comes on. Are you with me? And that's when the child is 7. And when a child is 17, you can talk a lot more about it. Are you with me? A child is 27, the child can probably start telling you more about it. Now, take something like love. When you want to tell a 7-year-old child what is love, you give her a hug. And you tell her you love her, this is love. Are you with me? At 17, it becomes a little bit more complex, a little bit more difficult. But you can still talk about love, but it's a totally different meaning now. At 27, love means something totally different. By the time you are 37 or 47, love has a totally different meaning altogether because of what you have lived and what you have gone through. And when you are 57 and 67, it has yet again another meaning. So, it would be foolish to be 7 or 14 and think you know everything about love. Just as it would be foolish for you to come here and think you know everything about network marketing. You need to sit back, empty the cup, absorb as much as you can, and relearn the things that you think you know. In fact, pay more attention to the things that you think you already know. The biggest mistake that you can do right now is to come here and think that you're doing this for your downlines and sit back and say, let them learn. Are you with me? Yeah, I guarantee you they will learn. And they will learn, and they will learn to overtake you. Now you can learn just as much and relearn the basics. It's the single most powerful thing. I stand here today and I would listen to any one of these people coming up on stage over the next few days, and I would be very glad to relearn everything they are saying. You have a great opportunity over the next few days. You have an opportunity to change. You have an opportunity to take this life further. There are so many people out there who do not have it. You have it right now at this moment. There are so many people out there who need to have it. There are so many people out there who simply don't have either the ability to be here, the opportunity to be here. But you are here right now, and it is not an accident. You are not here because you think you wanted to be here. That's the biggest arrogance you could face. Don't believe that for a second. Because anything could have stopped you. A flu, a cold, an accident, anything could have stopped you. But you are here because you were meant to be here. You are here because you need to be here. You are here because you should be here. So you need to sit down and say, there is a reason why I am here. It's not you who planned it. It is part of the master plan of your life. And you are here because someone greater than you has planned it. And there is a purpose. And there is a purpose for you to learn or relearn everything that's being taught. And there is a purpose that you need to carry back. Find that purpose before you lose it. The worst thing that can happen to you is to reach 65 or 70 or whenever it is and watch your life that has gone by and look back and start your next sentence with the word if. If only I had listened. If only I had changed. If only I had done something. If only I tried harder, etc., etc., etc. It is the saddest word in the English language, if. Today you are here, your hands are functioning, your legs are functioning, you are mobile, you are able to learn, you are able to change, and you have this opportunity in front of you. Do not waste it. If there's one lesson you take back, if there's one lesson you need to take back, think about this. If you go back to your primary one, first year of school, if you go all the way back to your first year of school and take a look at that classmates that you had at the time. If you had 40, 30, 40, 50 students in that class, it's a very good chance that somebody from that class is not here today. Not here means not alive today. And the lesson there is, we do not have control of time. We do not have control of our future. We do not have control at all. What we have is this moment and this moment only. What we have control of is right now. Make right now count. Make right now the time that the change begins. Make right now the point where your belief starts. And if you make right now the way that you live your life, then your life will become right. Many a time in the past you have chosen to say, I will get this done later, tomorrow. I will get there. I will do this. I will. Eventually, you're going to have to leave it all in your will. Stop I will and just do it now. This is week on. This is the time in your life where change begins, change happens. So, let me say to you, people tell me, you are such a good motivational speaker. You're here to, give a motivational speech, and how wow is that, And you know what I like to tell these people when they come up to me and talk about me giving a motivational speech, like as if it is something that I am doing. Nobody can motivate you. Nobody can motivate you except you yourself. At best, all that I can do is share my life experiences, is to share the lessons that I have learned, is basically, ultimately, just only point and say, this is the path that I have traveled, and it is a path worth taking. It is a path that I still continue to take, and it is a path you need to take, and that's about the best that I can do. If there's any motivation that comes out of that, that comes from you. And you need to motivate yourself first. And the only way you can motivate yourself is by believing. Believe. Believe makes you bold. Believe makes you brave. Believe makes you the best that you can be. And that's the only way to live. There is no other way to live. For a lot of these people, it means breaking bones, tearing muscles. If you talk to any champion in this planet, in any sport, they will show you their injuries. They will show you their failures. They will show you how many times they had to pick themselves up to try again. And believe me, they have. Over and over and over again. And that's what you have to be. You have to be a champion. And this is where the path starts. You have to believe. You have to believe. Are you with me? Yes. You guys are falling asleep one more time. So let's do the silent wave. Can we do the silent wave? Because I have one final message to give you. So let's all stand up one time. Are we ready? Are we ready? Let's start with 1. And yet again. And one more time. That is believe. You know, people tell me there's nothing as powerful as 10,000 people clapping. And you know what I tell them? And you know what I tell them? There is something more powerful than 10,000 people clapping. It's 10,000 people doing it silently. In silence. That is the power. You sit here right now. This is as powerful as it gets. 10,000 people believing in each other, because in silence comes real truth. You don't need to be loud. If you love your child, you think your love increases because you say it loudly or you scream it? It doesn't. Are you with me? It's only in the films that happen. If you love somebody, it doesn't get any stronger because you have to sing it or scream it. Because love is there. It's always there. Are you with me? Truth is there. It's always there. You do not need to shout it. You feel it. Are you with me? Yes. And if we believe, let's try it again. Let's take this back. Let's believe. Let's believe in ourselves. Let's believe in each other. Let's believe that we can change this planet. Let's believe in Him above us all. God bless you. Thank you. Good night.